next up we've got the ring muscle up, and here's how I like to brief it. I like to say, all right, we're focusing on the ring muscle up, and it is where you do this big pull all the way over the top, and you land in the deepest, darkest dip you've ever done, and you press out to the top. There you have it. There's your ring muscle up. Now what's required is a basic level of strength. You need to, here's a rule of thumb. If you can do, actually I was just about to make up numbers, and I make up different numbers every time. If you can do 10 strict chest to bar pull-ups and 10 strict ring dips, then you certainly have the strength to perform a ring muscle up. And in that case, you just need to work on technique. If you're not quite there yet with those basic requirements, then strength is probably something you'll need. But regardless, today we're going to work on the technique for this movement and a specific part of it called the transition, which is where most people get stuck. So it's that part between the pull and the press right there. That is our transition. And let's practice that right now. So before we even get started, what's going to help us out tremendously is establishing something called the false grip. Now, if you try to perform a muscle up, your first muscle up with a regular grip, the standard conventional grip right here, awesome for pulling, but when you try to turn that over, your wrist is in a very weak position. You have no power throughout that transition. So this false grip, here's what it looks like. You stand directly under the rings. You're going to karate chop. I want your thumb on one side, your fingers on the other. You're going to bump your knuckles together and then rock back. There we go. There's your false grip position. Now I want everyone to try this, get into a false grip, and give me 10, I'm sorry, I'm about to hit the wall. 10 false grip ring rows. Ready and go. You can walk around and give people cues. I always feel like half the group loses that false grip immediately. You have to walk around and get people into the right position so that they feel it, and the other drills work well from there. All right, that everyone do a set of 10 false grip ring rows. Next, here's what we're gonna do. Now we're actually gonna get into that transition. You start with your feet directly under the rings, karate chop, thumb on one side, fingers on the other, and from here you're gonna drop into the worst squat you've ever done. So rock up into your toes, let your knees shoot forward as you lean back. All right, and we'll call this position 1 right here, where your knees are out in front and you're leaning back and you're trying to straighten your arms as best as you can. Ha. All right, position 1. Now position 2, you're gonna keep these knuckles bumping together as you drive your hips up and you pull your chest to the rings. Here's position 2 right here. Now 3, you're gonna dive your head through and drop into the bottom of your dip. And position 4, just pick your feet up off the ground and rest. All right, so those are the 3 positions. Let's have one group perform this series of movements on my call. All right, everyone behind the rings, good karate chop. Thumb on one side, fingers on the other. Now drop into the worst squat you've ever done. Knees come forward, drop back, recline back into position 1. All right, keep your knuckles together. Go hips up, chest to the rings, position 2. Position 3, dive through, land in the bottom of your dip. No Charlie, not at the top of the rings, drop down to the bottom of your dip. People always try to rush this one and rush to the top. So bottom of your dip. And position 4, feet up. All right, and back down. Now let's run through that 4 more times. Position 1, position 2, hips up, chest to the rings. 3, dive through. 4, pick your feet up, and rest. All right, next group in, if you have a big class, we have to have people partner up on the rings. All right, next we're going to combine position 1, 2, and 3, and it's going to be a fluid motion now. Let me demonstrate. So you're gonna drop down to position 1. When I say go, you go hips up, drive your head through, and land in position 3. Ready, and go. And 4. All right, and have people do that 3 or 4 more times. Position 1, ready, and go. Feet up. All right, once you have people do that, there's gonna be some that already have their muscle ups. After they've done that little drill, they should be warmed up. You say, all right, you guys go do your own thing. The rest of you guys, stick with me. I want to see where we can go from here. So if you're feeling pretty confident with your ability to do that, then I want to see if you can perform that same motion and land with your feet off the ground. So here, go. All right, and if you're good with that, let's see if we can straighten your legs and perform it from here. Ready, and go. And that's actually pretty challenging. It might be a little easier or more difficult. Not actually sure. You say, all right, now we can try with the box out in front. You're gonna put your heels up on the box. You drop your hips down. You're gonna drive through your heels, get your hips up, and then dive through the top. Ready, and go. All right, and there you have it. There's a pretty thorough muscle up progression. Enjoy that one.